Hi, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me do our opening prayer and then off we go. O great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives and we thank you for these good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen. Namaste. Okay. Whoa. Isha saying, hi, Sky. Hope you're well today. Yeah, thank you. Can I have an angel reading, please? What are my divine gifts and abilities? Okay, let me just scan you. Okay, so they're showing me that you have the gift of healing. They're showing me that you're very good with numbers. I'm not sure if that's a gift you've tapped into or if that's like genetic or ancestral, but there's a very strong gift in the family around numbers, maths, being able to see patterns, and both both in emotional trauma, but also in financial patterns, and they're also showing me that you have a big gift for creativity. So you have the capacity to like look at a situation and see what's missing and be able to evolve into that space and create into that space. So they're also showing me that if you start to meditate, you have the gift of channeling, but you're going to have to activate it or master it. So I hope that helps, darling. Hi, dear Sky. Can I have a body check? Where should I focus? Okay, so angels, give me a body check for Orvelina. Okay, so they're taking me straight to your heart, darling, and you have a heart wall going on. Okay, you have a heart wall going on. So they're saying to focus on healing your heart because it's almost like it's slowing down your circulation. It's causing problems with the other parts of your endocrine system. So I would focus on removing the walls that you've built around your heart. Remember, healing is um, open your heart, and boundary up, and trauma is wall up and close your heart, right? So when we have walls, we're not able to respond to the present moment. The wall is just fixed. We're not able to flow with what we're getting divinely guided to be or do. We just end up responding from the past instead of dealing with what we need to deal with from the present. Hi, Mom, says Terry. What do I need to know from my greatest and highest good? Thank you. So immediately, I got Archangel Azrael coming through, and I got Archangel Jeremiah coming through, and the word was patience. Like it just came through so strong. So Course in Miracles says infinite patience, immediate results, and it's the capacity to drop everything else, focus on what your divine guidance is, and trust in the process. So there's the law of gestation. If you guys haven't heard about the law of gestation, is one of the most beautiful laws, and also one of the laws that has the most to do with maths and divine timing. Because gestation, if you think about pregnancy, right, it's the time it takes for something to go from being embodied to being fully activated and manifest. So it's the time it takes for an embryo to become a baby. It's the time it takes for a seed to become an oak tree. It's the time it takes for a kitten to become a cat. It's the time that it takes for a bunch of raw cooked vegetables to become a meal, right? So there's the law of gestation applies when there is time, effort, and focus required to bring something into its full embodiment or full manifestation. And patience is required because you can't plant a seed in the ground, stand over it and be like, why aren't you growing? Right? You plant a seed in the ground, it will pop up when that plant is in divine timing to flower, whether that's in the spring or whether that's in the autumn, or whether that's in the summer. You could stand there all day long and tell the seed, why aren't you flowering? There is the law of gestation at work, right? Just like you could stand over a womb all day long and be like, why isn't the baby here yet? Because it takes 9 months to grow a healthy baby, right? So patience is part of understanding the law of gestation, and that God works in supernatural ways and is often working behind the scenes. And it's your job to keep watering the seed and giving it sun and giving it nutrients, even if you can't see it growing yet. Right. And the guidance is really clear. Like, stop giving up on your dreams just because you haven't seen them flower. Like, you're giving up on the stage where the dreams are in roots, or they're underground, and you're giving up there instead of being consistent and conscientious enough because you're lacking patience. So meditate on patience, meditate on the process so that you can find the level of success that you're asking for, the level of freedom that you're looking for. The peace agent saying, hi, Sky, blessings to you too, darling. Jazz is saying, hi, can I have a scan for my colon? Thank you. So, my love, like, what I'm seeing, and I obviously, like, you guys know, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a diagnose, but I'm seeing a lot of inflammation. So I would go and see a doctor. I would go and get tests run to find out what's going on, because I'm seeing inflammation. It can be because of food intolerance, but there can be a host of other things. Inflammation from a metaphysical perspective is anger, and colon is about letting go of the past, right? If you think about the body symbolically, you ingest food, it goes into your digestive tract, your stomach breaks it down, your intestines remove the nutrients and the stuff that you need to grow your body and heal your body and repair your body, and then your colon absorbs water and anything, and like any last nutrients that you need from that food before it is released. So when you're having inflammation in the colon, it's because you're angry at things you need to let go of, angry at the past for being so hard, unable to forgive yourself. Okay, so we're going to bring in Archangel Raphael to do an instant healing on your colon and to release anger at the past, anger at yourself for the choices that you made, anger at yourself for anger at you and other for having to heal the mistakes that other people made, anger at the past for being so hard, anger that it's still affecting you today. There we go. Ooh. Okay. Okay, Joanna's saying, hey Sky, please give a reading and guidance for my business to grow. Is anything blocking abundance, clients, and money? Is there anything I'm doing wrong? Is this my divine path? Yes, this is your divine path. Yes, there's things you're doing wrong. You're assuming that because it's your divine path, things are just going to happen. And that's not how it works, right? When it's your divine path, yes, there are divine timings. Yes, you get offered opportunities, but you also have to show up and do the work. And there's a lot of fluff online that's like, if it's your divine path, you don't have to do the work. And it's just not true. So it's not so much that you're doing like something wrong. It's just that you're not doing anything. You're not showing up on social media. You're not really communicating to people about what it is that you do. You're doing a lot of teaching, but not very much talking about how you can help and exactly who you help and the kind of people that work with you. And uncertainty means that people just don't know, right? If you're going to be able to help them or not. There's like millions of healers in the world. What lets them know that you are the lock for their key? What lets them know that you are the person that can help them with what they're specifically struggling with? That is you talking about how you help people and the people that you have helped and exactly how good you are at this stuff. So how does your business grow like that? You start communicating on a daily basis. If I'm being honest with you, normally 2 or 3 times a day, right? You start loving your audience. In Course in Miracles, it talks about not seeing people as a people, and especially not as objects, right? So when you talk about it from a business perspective, it's like, oh, it's your audience or it's your best client, etc. From a spiritual perspective, this is your ministry. These are the people that God put you on earth to help. These are the people that God put you on earth to serve, right? So, of course, it's appropriate that you should receive compensation for that, but not to the extent that you are no longer serving those people, period. That's why I still do the angel readings. That's why I have a ton of freebies, because you want to be helping your ministry at every stage of their journey. You want to be nurturing those people at every level of their full manifestation, and you want to be communicating and nurturing with people, and it's good business, but it's actually about being a good person. It's actually about doing your divine mission on the earth. So I remember I used to get the angel reading card all the time when I was doing what you were doing, when I was hiding, the one that was like, be an angel, be an angel, help someone for us, be an angel, help someone for us. You're underestimating how much your gifts can help others, how much your gifts can heal others to your own detriment. Okay, to your own detriment and to other people's. I remember when I used to give angel readings for like £5 or £10 in London, and it used to be on Finchley Road. One of my friends had a retreat center there, and she used to let me use the hall during the day to give free angel readings, or like £5 angel readings or whatever. And there was a couple of homeless people that came in for readings, and one of them literally came back 2 months later, and he had completely turned his life around and actually gotten into property and investment after that one angel reading. And the other one was finally able to get off the street, and I didn't do anything different. I literally just drew the cards, told them the message from the angels, and got on with what I was doing. But what I didn't understand back then, that I do understand now, is never underestimate God's messages, never underestimate the angels' messages, never underestimate the part that the miracle plays in somebody else's path or somebody else's journey, right? So it's not about you, it's about them, it's about serving others, and that's what's also going to give you the greatest happiness, right? It's what's going to give you the greatest peace and the greatest happiness, because it's very hard to wallow, it's very hard to stay in self-pity, it's very hard to be like, why haven't I got the manifestation yet, when you are sitting there helping other people with their suffering. It's almost impossible to do, right? It's impossible to do. Um and that's why I think it's in all of the spiritual books, not in all the biblical books. It's why charity is one of the most powerful virtues. Get out there and start being visible, and as you're being visible, start talking about how it is that you serve and what it is that you do. Nancy's saying, hi, Sky. We're going to call on Archangel Gabriel to help you become more visible. If you need help removing visibility blocks, Gabriel is your angel. Okay, Nancy saying, hi, Sky. My intuitive seeing isn't as clear lately. Any insight into the root cause? Thank you. Okay, so they're showing me an incident with a client or with a friend where you saw something, and um, they got triggered by it. And there's an energy of like, you don't want to see bad things. Like, you're afraid of seeing negative features or negative outcomes. And there's this almost like self-doubt of, who am I to be giving these messages? But what if I get it wrong? So I'm just going to call on Archangel Gabriel. She seems to be fun today. Seems to be around and really strong. And to give you an energetic vacuum, let's just pull all that off, right? Our job is to deliver God's messages to the people that ask us for those messages, right? Leave the people that don't ask you for messages alone. Deliver them to the people that are asking for your help and are asking for those messages. And with the guidance to take it or leave it, right? If what the guidance that I give you in angel reading resonates with you, take it, use it, fly with it. If it doesn't, leave it, delete it, let it go. There are no perfect psychics, there are no perfect prophets, there are no perfect people. But don't ever stop sharing God's messages, right? Because somebody else either wasn't in the right place to hear, or because it didn't feel right to them. It's up to them always whether to take it or leave it. Their free will is theirs. It's not an ego trip. It's not about validation, right? It's just about sharing with the intention of lighting up the world, with the intention of serving others, not with the intention of being better, the intention of loving, like deeply, deeply loving. There we go. Okay. We're just going to ask Archangel Michael to come in and pull everything that you're seeing that you don't want to see out of your third eye. So sometimes when you see somebody, like when you saw me just scan the colon or someone's colon, etc., you will see that they are not well, or you will see that they are with a person that's not good for them. You will often see things that they don't want you to see. But the reason that you're seeing those things is because God sees all things. And especially when that thing is blocking the person's divine life purpose or stopping them from being the light they're capable of being in the world, right? And especially when that thing is too close to them, whether it's their best friend or their boyfriend or their job, and they've made a substitute for God. Um, that's exactly why you can see it, and then deliver the message with gentleness, with love, right? But it's okay if they get triggered, and it's okay if they are not ready to do anything about it, or even if they are not strong enough to do anything about it. Because what it does is shift their relationship from being angry at God for not giving them what they want to being angry at the correct situation and starting to give God permission to work on removing it or healing it or shifting it. Okay? Okay. Sarah Massey saying, "Hi Sky, hi beautiful. I would like to apply for car manufacturing company because I'm interested in the new project of manufacturing electric cars. Is it in my highest and best good? Any information about it?" Okay, let me have a look. Okay, when I'm tuning in, I'm getting like a lot of excitement, and I'm seeing Archangel Zadkiel come in. It is for your highest and best good. They want you to be creative. They want you to have opportunities to grow. And it feels like something different. It's like you were bored at your previous job. You weren't challenged. And this is going to give you a challenge. And that's a beautiful thing. Being excited and being challenged in your work environment is a very positive thing. So I'm going to send in the career angels and Archangel Shamiel to help you manifest this. Okay. Jennifer Morgan saying, "Hi, beautiful. Would love guidance on the separation I'm feeling at the moment." Okay, let me have a scan. Okay, so I'm immediately being guided to just start sending so much unconditional love. So many of you are so isolated right now because of a broken heart. And God said that He would mend your broken hearts and He would mend your broken spirits. So I'm just going to start by sending so much unconditional love. Now, Archangel Michael's here really strong, and he's saying God separates you, right, when He is going to bless you or activate the promises that He made within you. God separates you when He wants you to get really clear on your own voice. He's getting you ready for leadership. So when He wants you to get really clear on what is God's voice and what is not, the difference between God's voice and your mentor's voice, God's voice and your own intuition, God's voice and your friends, God's voice versus your ancestors' voice. So very often there's this period of separation, right? When God is getting you really wants to get to know you, wants to spend time with you, wants you to get to know His voice. And God also separates you when people have been doing things that are not for your highest and best good. So when they've been gossiping, or when they've been holding you back, or when they've been secretly jealous, God hears the conversations that you are not a part of, and God sees the shifts in relationship that we do not see. Like, we don't know the exact moment our boyfriend falls out of love with us. We don't know the exact moment our best friend can become our enemy. We don't know the exact moment that our mom or our dad or whatever has a problem with us, but God does. So sometimes God separates us to give the other person a cooling off period, or to stop them from sabotaging our purpose, right? I learned this very much the hard way last year and at the beginning of this year, that there were quite a few people around me paying lip service to being there for me, when the reality was, they were just, one had their very own agenda. To be honest, it had nothing to do with me, but they had their own agenda, right? So let's just release your fear of being alone with God, your fear of being alone with yourself, your fear of your own power. There you go. Because this is what you're looking for. Whenever you're looking for true love outside of yourself, true connection outside of yourself, first it requires deep connection within yourself, deep knowledge of who you are now. And that can be actually a very big initiation. I remember particularly after my son was born, The person who I am now versus the person who I used to be is so different from before he was born. So different, because my low standards before he was born wasn't costing my son anything. The level of unconditional love that I had for him, basically, you can't give without receiving, right? So the level of unconditional love I gave to my son started to come back at me. And the amount of unworthiness that I had just been bypassing moved. So it's that who I was before and after is completely different people. So let's just take a moment to shift that. There we go. Okay. Ooh. So this is the last bit they're giving me because I was about to move on, but it came in super strong, Jennifer. As they said, you think you're looking for a connection with another person. You think you're waiting for a connection with another person, but actually you're waiting to reconnect with yourself and you're waiting to reconnect with God, right? All other connections are a mirror of that first connection. So the place where you abandoned yourself, the place where you disconnected from yourself because other people taught you that what you wanted, needed, and who you were was not important or wanted, that's the bit that you need to go back to. There we go. Jazz is saying thank you, thank you, thank you. You're welcome, beautiful. Okay, Simone is saying, hi, beautiful Sky. Can you please do a reading on whether it's right time for me to have a baby with my current partner? What is the angel advice in this regard? Any messages on me becoming a mom? So when I'm scanning you, okay, so this is a very vulnerable reading, okay? So when I'm scanning you, what I'm seeing is that this is a partner that's very emotionally and physically immature. Could you have a child with him? 100%. This having a child is going to be harder than it looks. And much as that child is an incredible gift to your life, um, if your partner doesn't pull their weight, if they don't take care of you, um, it's it's a trauma that's very difficult to forgive them for. So you need to get really crystal clear with yourself about what you need in the father of your children and if this person possesses it, right? And the amount of support that you're going to need to get from elsewhere if this person stays the way they are. Because if you it's really important to think, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say that the baby's born and he's born healthy, or she's born healthy and happy, etc. And then you're still recovering, obviously, from birth. The baby doesn't sleep normally through the night for quite a while after it's born. Normally wakes up like 2 or 3 times a night, sometimes 4 or more. And that baby, let's say the baby is gets a cough or gets a croup, etc. That's sometimes 3 or 4 nights that you get absolutely no sleep. So if your partner isn't helping, this is hardcore stuff, and you and the child suffer. So it's really like I'm really being shown that yes, 100% you are worthy of having children. Yes, 100% you are ready, but that you need to get real about whether or not the partners that you're choosing are ready. And you need to get real about the role that they play. They're showing me that you come from a family where it's like, oh, men don't really do the kid stuff without you understanding the consequences of that once the kids are here. It's very different looking from the outside than it is from the inside looking out. So be very, 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 very clear, right? That if the partner you're with isn't going to help, you need friends or you need family and you need them close by so that that kid doesn't suffer, and so that you don't really suffer, because nothing hurts more than when we know that we're not able to be the kind of parent or mom that we want to be because we're suffering from exhaustion or physical illness or mental health problems because we are so tired and we're not getting the support that we need from the family. Okay. So the angels are saying, are you being honest with yourself? And normally when they ask that, it's because you're not. So what is it that you require from a partner? Is there a fear that you can't find that? Or have you had this conversation with the current partner that you're with about what exactly your expectations are of him as a father and what you will need for this to move forward? So we're just going to take a minute, bring in Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary. and Archangel Gabriel to help you have the important conversations and to help you both prepare if you're going to do this together. But just releasing all this belief, like this deep ancestral belief that women have to do this alone, that that's what how you prove you're a good mother, and shifting it to being healthy mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, so that you can actually be present and be supported is how you do this. It's not about sacrificing everything. It's about being able to love your child. And let's just download the difference between love and sacrifice. Good. Okay. So EXO saying, hi Sky, can you do a scan on my mum's health? My love, I need to know if you have her permission. Okay, I can't do scans on people that aren't here if I don't know that they know that that's happening. It's not ethical for me to do that, my love. Let me know if you have your mum's permission. Sarah saying, yes, thank you so much. I'm really excited. I never thought I'd go back into wanting to work in my field of studies, but someone I met for the first time suggested it and it feels right. Yeah, life works in rhythms and cycles. Sometimes it feels good to go back to where we started. Mattis is saying, hi, dear Sky. Is my divine life partner close to me in my life? And if so, what do I need to work on to welcome him? Thank you very much. I actually get the feeling, because the Archangel Chamuel is coming in with the romance angels, I get the feeling that yes, your romantic partner is already close to you and in your life. What do you need to let him in? Like they're saying it's as simple as, you know how sometimes it's going to be sound so bad, but okay, I'm just going to give the message, I get it. You know how sometimes you get resting bitch face? Like you get so um disillusioned or disappointed by things that you've been through that you kind of have this stay away from me energy or don't approach me energy. Yeah. And it's as simple as making like literally go and get a facial massage, and smile at people, make eye contact, and this person's going to approach you, your soulmate's going to approach you, but your energy when I'm scanning it is like it's like closed off. It is like stay away from me. And a lot of beautiful women, a lot of spiritual women have that, what I call resting bitch face, which is like that don't come near me, because they don't want to be hit on every second of every day, because they're afraid of getting hurt again. And then obviously that blocks the person that is our person. You have to be willing to say no to a few people to find the right one. And that it just is what it is. But that means you have to make eye contact and you have to smile. And I find that that's more than enough to make men cross the road to talk to you. Never mind, offer you coffees or teas or open doors, but you have to be willing to make eye contact and smile. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Hi, Sky. Could I please have a reading on what the next step is for me regarding my service and my health? Thank you. So they're showing me like two wounds that they want you to look at around your service. One is people pleasing, and the other is overgiving. So people pleasing, especially with your name, right? The peace agent, this idea of you have to make peace. People pleasing blocks authenticity. It's not your job to make peace. It is your job to be loving. And sometimes being loving makes no the most loving response, right? Peace is the side effect of authentic, loving communication, given and received. It is not the product of bypassing authentic communication given and received. And the people pleasing is also causing the overgiving, because people keep asking, and you're giving to the extent that you're burning out, because you're not able to you're not understanding the worth of what you're giving. And then it's, instead of you feeling appreciated, what you're pulling in is, what you're feeling is resentful. They're not recognizing you or validating you on the level of the contribution that you're making. So let's just heal this overgiving and this people pleasing wound, and just releasing as much as we can from that little child that was taught that it was their job to make their parents happy, and it was their job to present a certain image, instead of their job to be authentic and their job to honor themselves and their gifts. Okay. Okay, Sarah's saying, can I also have information about my future partner if there's time? Thank you so much. I've been single for a long time and it feels foreign for me to be with a person now. Okay, so I get like the card that's showing up in my third eye is actually the Hermit card. So, and it's funnily enough, it's not for you, it's for your partner. Your soulmate is actually a hermit too. And they're saying that it's not, they're saying don't say it's weird for you to think about being with a person. It's just that you've changed, right? The person that's going to be compatible for who you are now is very different than the person um, before you took this time, before you liked yourself, before you enjoyed your own company. And that's okay. Your soulmate is somebody like they've got green hands, they like nature, they've got kind of a Bear Grylls type energy. I have a feeling that you might move deep into the countryside or deep into the forest. But it's like an energy of a really beautiful, quiet, spiritual life that's coming through. Um, I'm not sure if they're divorced or if their partner passed, but there was deep grief for them for a long time, and they're just starting to come out of their hibernation, as it were, or their own healing. So I think that this stirring in you is a reflection of what's stirring in them. Okay, Gabriella, can you tell me what exactly you mean by number one, do you have her permission because she's a teenager? So I need to know that you've got her consent for me to do readings. And number two, um, okay, so let's go with the basics because I can't do a reading for her unless I know you have her consent, but I can tell you the basics around mental health, right? So, rule number one around fixing any kind of mental health problems, cut out the sugar. Okay? Cut out all sugar, all raw processed sugar. It makes the whole body acidic and it makes it very difficult for you to produce serotonin, dopamine, oxytocin. Number two, dehydration. So at least 3 liters of water a day. Remove all coffee, all teas, anything like that. Dehydration is the number one unconscious cause of depression. Number three, exercise. If she's not exercising, if she's not walking at least 10,000 steps a day, it is your job to get out of the house with her and take her for a walk. Number four, isolation. How isolated are you both? Right? So if you're not getting out of the house at least once daily, to sit in a cafe or to in a library, or she needs to get out and not be isolated. And number five is like the right vitamins and minerals, so magnesium, zinc, selenium, particularly because adolescence requires so much growth, right? Physical, mental, and emotional growth. If you do not have the right nutrition, and it's funny, right? How teenagers and toddlers are very similar in that they suddenly get very picky with eating, and it's because of their body image, and it's very hard sometimes to get the good stuff in them. And you have to hide it in smoothies, you have to hide it in fruit, you have to hide it in in things to get the vitamins and the minerals and the vegetables inside them. But that's what they're showing me is like lots of smoothies, lots of movement, but it's this energy of not making it about mental health. Mental health is like, look at it holistically. If you're mentally unwell, you cannot be physically well. It one does not cause the other. It's the opposite way around. Mental health, bad mental health is caused by gut problems, mineral problems, vitamin problems, dehydration, sleep problems, right? So that's the other thing. Cut out sleep, remove all screen time. Too much screen time literally causes you to stop being able to create your own dopamine, and it's bad juju, right? No more than a couple of hours a day. So it's that those are the things that I would focus on. If she's really struggling, don't make it don't make it complicated. Focus on the simple things that you can fix to give her back control over her mental health. But guys, if you want readings for family members, etc., I need to know that you have their consent. Okay, I need to know that you have their consent because otherwise it's just not fair. Okay, let's do our closing prayer. O Great Spirit, Father Sky, Mother Earth, the winds, the waters, my Father, my Mother, Atanaha, all that is. We thank you for our lives, and we thank you for these good, good people. We thank you for all that we are and all that we are to become. We dedicate our time spent together and our relationships with one another to you. We ask that our suffering be ended and our pain be lifted to the love and to the peace that lay beyond. Aho, Amen, Namaste. Love you all. See you tomorrow.